You know, there's a lot of hype about crypto right now because of NFTs, you know, which is great. Like, it's great for the crypto movement. So I've been a Coinbase user for a few years now, since 2017. And, you know, one of the main reasons why I've used Coinbase as a platform to hold my Ethereum and other crypto was because of liquidity. Coinbase makes it really easy to link a bank account. So I decided to hold my money there. And a month ago, it actually got hacked and just felt really bad. Everything was stolen away from me. So now I don't recommend holding your money in Coinbase. I would like to let your audience know, or everyone out there who's listening to this, we should be shifting the conversation about cryptocurrency from NFTs and Dogecoin and Elon Musk to, you know, really talk about computer hygiene and cybersecurity. And, you know, I just want people there to really take their cybersecurity seriously, because, you know, there's hackers out there that will find vulnerabilities, and they might be insiders in the phone carrier company like AT&T or something that have your data, and they could be those people that are hacking into you, or even that insider in Coinbase, we have no idea, or it could be hackers in China or Russia. But the point is, we need to be shifting the convo from NFTs to cybersecurity and better computer hygiene. Because before this happened to me, every conversation I was having with people was just, you know, it was just all hype and nothing really serious about, like, are you taking your cybersecurity measures seriously? Are you holding it in a hard wallet? Because one can make the argument that holding your crypto in a big exchange like Coinbase or Binance is not truly a decentralized system, because ultimately if one exchange is capturing all the value in the market, that's centralizing everything, versus the true mission of crypto and blockchain is to decentralize the system. And it's kind of defeating the purpose of decentralization, but at the same time, it's kind of a necessary evil, because you know, the mainstream needs to adopt the technology for it to happen. So it's kind of this weird gray area we're in now, because so basically the laws haven't caught up to the times and the technology, and people like me are left in the dust because we don't have any money back guarantee. When I get my money stolen from Coinbase, basically Americans are getting their money stolen with no money back guarantee. And eventually this is going to have to change. Like, this is kind of unacceptable. And to make things worse, Coinbase doesn't have any customer support. They don't have any live support. So this is why I stress, like, you should probably hold your coins on a hard wallet and keep it at home, because there's no money back guarantee. I made the mistake of thinking that my crypto was FDIC insured, but it turns out that only insures your US dollar on Coinbase. So don't make that same mistake. I actually have a possible solution that might be able to insure your crypto at home if you're storing it on a hard wallet ledger, like a Ledger Nano. You might be able to sneak in your home insurance policy to cover that Nano ledger, because it's considered property. Crypto is considered property now. So I suggest people call your home renter's insurance company and ask them if you can insure that. Another thing is, I want to make another point is Airbnb.com has a $1 million guarantee for property damage that any host can incur while hosting a guest. And my point is, like, Airbnb is a public company. Before they went public, they had this guarantee. Why doesn't Coinbase, who was funded by the same exact people, by the way, Coinbase and Airbnb are funded by the same exact venture capitalists. Why can't Coinbase and other exchanges in the future have a $1 million guarantee for any unauthorized transactions on their platform? I think this is where we should be heading, and this is where the conversation should be going, not towards it. Well, NFTs is a nice conversation to have too, but I'm saying no, this is not being brought up in any conversations I've been in at all. We need more protection as hodlers, and to top that off, the U.S. government wants to tax us capital gains tax on crypto up to 37%. There's a Forbes article you could link later in the show notes that you could calculate exactly what your insurance would be. I mean, not insurance, your percentage would be for your tax. And so, you know, if we're gonna get taxed by the US government, we need some protection, you know? If they're gonna tax us on the crypto, like they should at least protect the citizens. And so it's a Wild West, a public exchange and a public traded company with no live support, no customer service. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, man. To me, it's like the internet in the 90s. Like we didn't have any money back guarantees on the internet, and it just took, it took 10 years, maybe 20 years for people to make enough noise, for enough people to get online for them to change like the policies. And that's what happened with Airbnb. That's why I brought it up as an example. Like when Airbnb.com first launched, they didn't have a guarantee for hosts if damage happened. But eventually damage happened and someone threw a party in an Airbnb and a lot of damage incurred. And so they had to come up with some sort of policy because regulators in cities were putting pressure on Airbnb. And so the same thing is I foresee the same kind of thing happening for exchanges like Coinbase, because eventually enough people are gonna make enough noise for them to have to change. And, you know, like you said, like it adds, like, you know, if you're gonna store your crypto in a hard wallet, it adds a little friction for new adopters to adopt it. But you know, I'm gonna start making content. Actually, this is gonna be the first one of the first pieces of content we're gonna make on the subject matter, where, you know, hopefully with the content I'll be putting out, I could help people from all walks of life understand like what they could possibly do to protect themselves against hackers, or, you know, just ensure their holdings at home if they want to store it on a hard wallet. I'm gonna create content on how you could just buy that nano ledger and easily purchase crypto and transfer it onto that ledger, and just different computer hygiene measures you could take to make sure, you know, you're using a strong password, for example. You're maybe using like a browser like Brave where they're not tracking your data like Google Chrome does when you're doing your crypto transactions. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I'll be creating that content so people could learn about it more and dive deep into it, because I've been, you know, kind of studying this industry for the last 4 years, since 2017. We would have been. I bought ETH at like $70. Do you want to talk about why someone should own crypto versus a fiat currency? Like, we can make the bull case for it.